Hello my shiny babes, hello my besties. It is time for some unpopular opinions. Let's do this. Why did my voice crack? Opinions. So, for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, first of all, why? Why not? I am just a girl, and why do you treat me this way? But if you don't follow me on Instagram, go do that right now. I'll wait. Okay, glad you did it. Anyway, I posted not that long ago this, where I asked you to tell me some unpopular bookish opinions, and I was gonna react to it on video. Now, this was literally like in May. I forgot, I'm not gonna lie. But today I was scrolling through my phone and I found it, and I thought, what a great video to film today. So I'm gonna be reacting to your unpopular book opinions. Here we go. If you are roasted, called out in this video, you asked for it. Just know that it's all love. I love you, baby girl, even if I don't agree with you, okay? So here we go, unpopular book opinions. First up, we've got, I actually like the surprise pregnancy trope. Sue me. Yeah, no, like, suing is correct. I'm going to get my lawyer on it immediately. Hello, love? I need to sue someone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually kind of don't mind the accidental pregnancy trope either, like surprise pregnancy, when it's done correctly. I feel like Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonin Young, I feel like Reckless by Elie Silver, like those were some that were done correctly. I just think it's a very hard trope to get right, because the only way I look at it is it'll be like they just met and then a surprise pregnancy and they were never gonna talk again, and now they're talking and getting along and stuff because of the baby, and I feel like that's why they stay together, and I just don't see that as a stable environment to like go on with this love, you know what I mean? So if you do it correctly, like Out on a Limb and Reckless, then yeah, I am a fan as well, but it's just very hard to get right. I think that is the misconception with it. It's not that I hate it, it's that I don't think a lot of authors can do it. There you go. But you know what? If you like it, go off, queen. You do you. You do you. I support women's rights, and more importantly, I support women's wrongs. I'm here. I'm here for you. All the way over here. Next we've got, I don't like when every store has its own exclusive content for a new release. Girl, yes. Speak it into existence. You are so right. I also hate that. I hate that. Like they'll be like, oh, here's this book that you need to read. It's called La Di Da. And now here's La Di Da Target version that includes 2 bonus chapters. Here's La Di Da Amazon version. It includes 2 bonus chapters on top of that Target version. Here's special edition of La Di Da, and it includes new bonus edition of character notes that you can only buy if it's $500. Here is La Di Da for special fans. Like, what? Shut the fuck up. Just give me La Di Da. I am all for special editions. I'm all for special editions. I think they're beautiful. I think they're great. And I think if you can afford them, then go off, queen, do your thing. However, for you to include a bunch of bonus content that like all the other fans can't get just does upset me. Especially when people say like, oh, this is for the super fans. And I'm like, okay, well, not every super fan has the money to spend on this. Come on now. Like special editions are one thing. For instance, I did a special edition box and I know that that shit is expensive, especially if you're out of the country. And I know that we don't set the prices. UPS does that shit. And like they set crazy prices. So I get it. That makes sense. But for you to include like a bunch of bonus stuff and then a million different special editions of the same book, and then like I think that I have to own all of them for me to be like a fan of the book, but no, I don't. You know, it's just a whole ass mess. So I do agree with you. I think that that should be a popular opinion, in fact, because what the f. I personally love Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Also love you, Larry. You make my day. First of all, I love you. Second of all, I also love Ugly Love. I feel like, this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but I feel like it became very popular to hate on Colleen Hoover because she, I guess, was like the front author for book talk. It was like everybody was reading It Ends With Us, November 9th, Ugly Love, Heartbones, Reminders of Him, Verity. Like people were reading her books back to back to back. She even outsold the Bible from what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. I just heard, okay? I heard from a little bird. I don't know if it's true. I'm just spreading information. But anyway, I feel like she became really popular and it became cool to hate on her. So now every video is like throwing a book in the ocean and people are like, oh, I hope that was a Colleen Hoover book. Like, bitch, don't be so disrespectful. Like, you don't have to like the author. Do not get me wrong. You don't have to agree with their personal things or any of that shenanigans. I get that. But you also don't have to like absolutely shit on people that are just starting to read and they pick up one of her books because it just like is the gateway for them to read, and then you're like, you know, ripping them to shreds because of it. That I do not agree with, and I personally have nothing against Colleen Hoover, and I love love Ugly Love. I love It Ends With Us. I love Reminders of Him. I love those books. I hate November 9th, but that has nothing to do with Colleen. I just hate that book. You know what I mean? So to each their own. You read her if you want to. You don't read her if you don't want to. But you're not going to sit here making other people feel bad for reading her. Annoying. So I also love Ugly Love. I hate stepbrothers, sister romance tropes. Listen. That's valid. That's valid. I probably would have agreed with you before I read For the Fans, but then For the Fans changed my mindset on many things, including the brother sister trope thing. Well, no, not brother sister, stepbrother, step. Incest adjacent. Also, listen, I watched Life with Derek long ago and it like altered my brain chemistry. Like I always just think now that stepbrothers and stepsisters are cool to be with each other because of Life with Derek and because of Clueless. So maybe that's on me. Again, I feel like that's a popular opinion. I feel like a lot of people hate stepbrother, stepsister trope. I, however, eat it up. The buildup is usually better than when the couple is together. Valid. Yes. This is why I love slow burns. This is why I love Mariana Zapata. This is why I love Ella Maisie. This is why I love Elena Armas, because the buildup is so much better. Once the couple's together, I'm bored. I've moved on. Like now you're just gonna what? Kiss and hug the whole book? I'm bored. Like I need some pizzazz. I need some drama. I need some buildup. That doesn't mean that I need the couple to like break up every 5 seconds, but I just need them to take a while to be together. There are exceptions to this. Like for instance, Addicted Calloway, they get together right away, y'all. And they stay together all the books. But for some reason, I didn't mind because I loved the characters so much. Same with Boys of Tommen. I love the characters so much that I don't care. But I feel like most of the time, I'd rather the build-up be long. Agree with you. I hate enemies to lovers. Okay, let's think on this. Why? Because that's interesting. That's an unpopular opinion if I've ever heard one. I hate enemies to lovers. You hate it. You hate enemies. What do you mean? Why? Why? Like, do you hate bully romances? I also don't like bully romances when the guy's like really, really fucking mean. I don't like that either. But I feel like enemies to lovers has some spice. You know, it just depends on how the enemies to lovers. Like Powerless has a good enemies to lovers. Shatter Me has a good enemies to lovers. What else? Then you have enemies to lovers that are not really enemies to lovers, like the Spanish Love Deception, where she thinks they're enemies, but really he's just loved her the whole time. I love those too. I'm a big fan of enemies to lovers. It's not my favorite trope, but I do love it. I want to know why you don't love it. So let me know. If you have an answer, Laura, sweetie, let me know. Thank you. Sometimes the synopsis on the back either gives way too much or doesn't give anything. Yeah. That's very true. I feel like either it'll tell you like, okay, so this is about a girl named Randy and she grew up in a small town and now she got pregnant with her brother's best friend and now they just are not going to be together, but they are going to be together and they live happily ever after the end. And you're like, okay, well, I just read the book. Or it'll be like Magnolia Parks where it tells you absolutely fucking nothing. I am a big fan of just not reading the back. Maybe that's the solution. Sometimes I like man covers more than the cartoon ones. Oh. I'm gonna go back to my previous statement of supporting women's rights, but also supporting women's wrongs, because boy, is that wrong. But you know what? I love that for you. I love that for you. There's nothing wrong with having a man on your cover. I mean, there is to me, but not to you. And you know what? It is your bookshelf. You do with it what you will. I love you and support you still. I don't want to look at it, but I support you. Say You Swear is honestly one of the worst books I've ever read. No, like, yeah, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's just one of my favorite books of all time. It's just literally a book that I made a special edition of because I love it so much. No, it's fine. It's totally chill. No big deal. That's fine. Why? I just want to know, like, what is the reason? Is there a reason why you don't like it? And if so, tell me why. Because I feel like I can convince you to try again. Can I convince you to try again? Please. For me? Please? It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm excited to see It Ends With Us, as you should be. It is so good. It is so good. I ate that movie up. I'm gonna watch it again this weekend, and I'm very excited. I think it was very, very, very well done. I think if you don't like the book, you might even like the movie. I'm just saying. I feel like they took out a lot of the things that people don't like about the book, and they made it more, like, adaptable to real life, and they aged the characters up. Like, everything was done so well. I loved it, and I am going to be watching it again, and I think a lot of you are going to be pleasantly surprised. So if you're excited for it, no shame, girly. You go watch that shit. Go do your thing. Grab yourself a bucket of popcorn and you watch it, okay? Book Talk does not give bad recs. Sue me. Okay, you know what? I'm biased towards this because I am on Book Talk. I think, okay, here's gonna be my little spiel, okay? I'm about to yap for a second. Give me a minute. I think that there are no bad recs. I just think that everyone has different opinions and different thoughts and feelings towards different books, just like movies and shows and singers and what have you. For instance, I love Taylor Swift. If you don't like Taylor Swift, does that mean I have bad taste because I recommended you a Taylor Swift song? No, it just means it's not for you. I think it's the same thing with books. Like if I say, hey, go read Boys of Tommen, and you don't like Boys of Tommen, does that mean my rec was bad? No, it just means it wasn't for you, and that is okay. That's not because Book Talk gives bad recs. It's just because we like a book and then you happen to not like that book. There's nothing wrong with that, but it also doesn't mean that anybody is giving you a bad recommendation, you know? I hate hearing that because I feel like so many people say it all the time of Book Talk doesn't know what they're talking about. Book Talk only recommends spicy books. Book Talk only recommends this. And that's not true. Like you curate your own For You page, okay? Like I follow so many different people on Book Talk that I get different recs all over the place. I get like fantasy, romance, thriller. I get spicy, non-spicy. I get different authors. I get indie authors. I get published authors. I get so many different things that you can do that too if you just curate your own For You page. Oh my god, the air just turned off and it literally is silent in here. Were you guys listening to that? Did you guys hear my air the whole time? Gasp. If you heard, I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it now, so we're just gonna move past it. Anyway, you could do it too. You can curate your own For You page and you can follow different accounts, follow different people, and start to get different recs. And again, just because you don't like something doesn't mean it was a bad rec. It just means your opinions differ from someone else's. Logic. I know, it's fucking crazy. A lot of people lack it these days. Liking dark romance books doesn't mean I support those things in real life. Oh my goodness. Okay, this one's a tough topic to talk about. We're just gonna get right into it. Of course it doesn't mean that. Why do people think that? That's insane. Like I love Criminal Minds. It is one of my favorite shows of all time. I support murder. I support serial killers. No, I just love the show. I love the fiction of the show. I love the way the show does things. I love that. I would never ever support and agree with those things in real life. I would never agree with like, you know, Lana Myers is killing people left and right. And I'm like, yes, queen. I mean, I am in the book, but I'm not gonna do it in real life. You know what I mean? People just feel like if you like something in a book, that has to mean you like it in real life, and that is not the case. A lot of people deal with their trauma, for instance, by reading these things. A lot of people explore their mindsets by reading these things in a safe way. And who are you to tell them that they can't do it? Or if they do, they are accepting it in real life as well. Like, I'm sorry, you just lack brain cells if you think that. And I unfollow me right now because I cannot deal with that, okay? Like I said, this is a very controversial topic, so I feel like some people may disagree with me, and that's okay. It's okay if you do. You don't have to read any of the shenanigans, and you don't have to like it. But I just don't understand the people that yell at someone else for doing it. The people that are like, oh, you like this dark romance, you support this in real life. No, you don't know why they're reading it. You don't know what they've been through, and you don't know how they're exploring this and how they're going about this and why it's helping them and why they relate to it so much. So shut the fuck up. How about that? I love breaking my spines. I also love breaking my spine. I just, you know, a quick little Vecna. No, that wasn't funny. No, that wasn't funny. I regret doing that immediately. You know when you do something and like your life flashes before your eyes and you immediately regret it? That's what just happened to me. Let me go drink some water. Oh, that was horrible. That was horrible water. Very nice. Anyway, breaking spines. I am not for or against this. I kind of just don't care. Like if you like to break your spines, you do it. If you don't like it, you don't do it. I don't go out of my way to break my spine, but if it happens, I'm also not upset about it. It's a book, like it's loved and it's being read. So it makes sense that it looks a bit used because it was. So I don't care to leave my spines like perfect, but I'm also not going out of my way to just break that shit. You know what I mean? But if you love it, go off, queen. Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is overrated. I hate the term overrated. Girl, first of all, to put this in an unpopular opinion is crazy because that's such a popular opinion. But I think overrated is such a bad term just because overrated essentially just means that something is popular and you don't like it. How is that overrated? It's just you don't like it, but it's popular. A lot of people like it and you don't. Like me being like, oh, Deadpool's overrated. I love Deadpool. I don't even want to say that. But like Deadpool's overrated. No, it's not. A lot of people like Deadpool and I didn't. You know what I mean? I love Deadpool. I don't like that I use that as an example, but you get what I'm saying. I don't think she's overrated, but if you think so, that's okay. I think a better statement would be, I don't like Colleen Hoover. Not Colleen Hoover's overrated. But to each their own. Epilogues are pointless. They always end up married with kids. Honestly, yeah. You're so right. I am not a big fan of epilogues either. I usually just skip them, like when I don't really care for the book. If I love the book and I love the couples, I will read the epilogue just because I want to see them happy. But if I don't care, epilogues are very pointless. Like in every single one, they're married with 2 kids. They're married with 1 kid. They're in a cute little house in the middle of nowhere. Like I don't care. Like maybe give me an epilogue where like you guys just shoot each other or something. Then that would be fun. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, I agree. I don't love epilogues either. SJM is just okay. Ooh, I feel like a lot of people are gonna be angry about that one. I personally love Akatar, but I haven't read anything else by SJM, so I cannot like hand on fire for her because I don't know, but I do love Akatar. She gave me Rhysand, so how can I complain? And Cassian and Asriel. But I get you. You know, I feel like if you read a lot of fantasy, maybe you don't love SJM fantasy, and that's okay. I do still have to read Throne of Glass though, so stay tuned. Let me know if you guys agree with that one in the comments below. That scares me. I feel like you guys are gonna go crazy for that. Aaron Warner isn't the best book boyfriend. You're brave for that. You're brave for that. I could never be this brave. I love Aaron Warner. I don't think he's the best book boyfriend, but that's because I think I read him quite late in my life. I think if I were to read him like in elementary school or middle school, he would be the love of my life. Like he would be everything and more to me. I think I read him way after I already read so many books that I enjoy that he's not everything, but I still love him. I think he's one of the best book boyfriends. He's up there. But I could see where you're coming from, that he's not the best book boyfriend. I think he's very good though. Lily and Lo are the worst Dick to Calloway couple. No. No, not in this house. Not in this fucking house. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. When people say they don't like Lily and Lo, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like they literally created a Dick to Calloway. They are a Dick to Calloway. And you're telling me you don't like them? How? How and why? Get out of this home. You are not welcome. I'm just kidding. Your opinions are valid and I accept it, even though I don't agree. I'm kindly moving on. 3 stars isn't a bad rating. Oh, for sure. I think 3 stars is right in the middle. Like I think 1 star is bad, obviously. 2 stars is pretty bad. 3 stars is I'm in between. It could be bad or good. And then 4 is good, 5's good. I think that's kind of the scale, but people look at ratings differently. Like I don't really know, like Giant rates out of 10. So who even knows at this point, the way people rate things? Sometimes, oh wait, these two are so funny next to each other. Sometimes I just want a book that's pure smut. And right under that it was, I prefer books without smut. Again, it comes down to opinion. I agree. Sometimes I prefer books with no smut. And sometimes I just want a book that's pure smut if I like just want to read nothing mindlessly. I feel like I got over my spicy book like phase. Like I feel like I used to gravitate towards very, 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 very spicy books. Now I kind of have gotten to the middle where I do like spice, but I like meaningful spice. I like the Lauren Asher, Anna Huang, Elie Silver kind of spice where it's there for a reason and it's there to accelerate the couple's progress and like you seeing them together makes sense rather than just a million spicy scenes for no reason at all. But I do know if I'm reading a dark romance, obviously there's going to be way more spice. And I don't mind that at all. And then if I'm reading a YA, there's gonna be no spice, as there shouldn't be, and I don't mind that at all. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of in the between with both of these. I could go for either or, just depends on what mood I'm in. Audiobooks count as reading. Listen, I cannot help but agree. I posted a reel not too long ago that said audiobooks count as reading, and I got eaten alive in the comments. It was people just being like, no it doesn't. Bitch, do you not know what reading is? And I'm like, I know. It's just a different format of reading, in my humble opinion. I think whether you read a book on Kindle paperback, I think whether you listen to it or you're physically reading it, it's still counting as reading. You're still consuming the same knowledge in the same book in just different ways. Also, there's a lot of people that can't read a book, so they listen to a book. Obviously, I know reading and listening are 2 different words. What I'm saying is that it counts as reading. In my opinion, at least. I mean, if you don't agree with that, I don't know what to say to change your mind. I feel like it's never gonna happen, so I'm just gonna move on. It's okay to finish your book in your time. You don't have to do it in 1 day. Oh my God, of course. Of course. You can finish a book in 5 days, in 1 month, in 2 months, in 1 day, in an hour, whatever works for you, however makes you happy. I don't agree with reading as a competition. It should just be read at your own pace, read whatever you want, read what brings you joy. And at whatever time that is, it's whatever. Like I took a month to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. But then I can read like Flawless by Elie Silver in one day. They're just different books that I read at different paces. And there's nothing wrong with that. One is not better than the other because I read it faster. I am not better than someone else because I read a book in one day and they read it in 1 month. You know, I'm not better than someone else because I read 20 books and they read 5. I don't agree with any of that. I feel like there's just no point in making this into a competition. I feel like we make a lot of things into competitions and it is not needed. We can all thrive and we can all read. It's just books. It's not that serious. It's okay to DNF the book. Oh yeah. Yeah. Life is too short to read books you don't like. DNF, girl. If you are not enjoying a book, put it down. Put it down. Why are you still reading it? Put it down. No one's gonna yell at you. No one's gonna know. You don't even have to tell anyone. You would just and never talk about it again. It's simple as that. You're never too old for young adult books. Oh, of course. I love me a good young adult. I love Better Than the Movies. I love Nothing Like the Movies. I love every Lynn Painter young adult. I love Rachel Lynn Solomon young adults. I love the Natural series. I love Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So many of those young adult books just fucking hit. I don't think you can ever be too old or young. No, that sounds wrong. I don't think you can ever be too old. The air turned on again. Hello? Agony. I don't think you can ever be too old for any sort of book. You read whatever you want, okay? Whether you are 95 or whether you are 25, okay? Do your thing. Do your thing. TikTok recommended books are always bad. There's always that one person. I don't agree with this, but I see where you're coming from, but it goes back to my spiel that I made earlier. I don't need to yap one more time about it. I don't agree. We'll leave it at that. I refuse to get a Kindle. Okay, that's okay. I feel like you don't need one, but I think it sure as hell helps. It helps me, well, does it really? Because I still spend just as much money. But it helps me because I feel like when I'm reading a book that's like this thick, if I read it on Kindle, it feels so much better. Like Boys of Tommen, reading it on Kindle is so much better than reading it in paperback. You know, like it'll fucking hurt my hands if I'm reading that shit in paperback. And the words are so tiny, I can barely even see. But on Kindle, I'm just like, and I can take it everywhere. It's the simplest little thing that you could just take everywhere you go and there's millions of books on there. I can read it in bed with the lights off. Oh, I love my Kindle. I will vouch for my Kindle till the day I die. Lauren Asher is a pass for me. You're telling this to the wrong person. I love me some Lauren Asher. That is one of my favorite humans. That is one of my best friends. And I'm gonna. It's fine. Everyone has opinions and it's fine. Even though yours is wrong. Anna Wong's storylines are great, but I will have to be honest, her writing style is pretty mediocre. Listen, I do love Anna Wong. I feel like any Anna Wong book will hit whether I like it or not. It's still a good time, but I get what you're saying. It does feel very repetitive. I feel like Anna Wong and Devanny Perry are two authors that just, the stories kind of seem to blend all together. If you read them back to back to back, you kind of have to give yourself a break. So I do see what you mean by that, but I love it anyway. Sue me. I think Elie Silver is way too overhyped. Sorry, I just don't connect to her books. Why did I say sorry like that? Sorry. Sorry. Take that back. Take that back right now. What do you mean you don't connect with a little yeehaw cowboy romance, okay? Save a horse, ride a cowboy. What in the Glen Powell? How dare you? I love Elie Silver. And that's on that. We're just gonna do a couple more, y'all, because I don't think I can take much more of this. I'm getting a little bit offended. I'm not gonna lie. Powerless by Lauren Roberts is way overhyped. Again, don't love the word overhyped. I rated it 4 stars. I liked Powerless. I do feel like it had a lot of Hunger Games in there. Kind of pissed me off, but I'm really looking forward to Reckless. I haven't read it yet. I'm not gonna lie. It's just been sitting there. But I am gonna read it, and I'm excited to read it because I do like Powerless. It's not my favorite book ever, but I do definitely like it. Some people love it more than me, but again, nothing wrong with that. Alex from Twisted Love should not exist. Well, it's a good thing he doesn't. He's paper. Newsflash, he is trees. He is a product of Anna Wong's imagination. Agap Romance is actually gross. What do you mean? Why is it gross? I understand if you're talking like, let's say like a child, 100% that's gross. But like age gap romances, I don't think they're gross. Like if she's 30 and he's 40, that's age gap. If she's 20 and he's 27, that's age gap. If like he's 40 and she's 50, that's age gap too. Like there's a lot of different age gaps. I think you're maybe possibly thinking of just a specific age gap, which is when the person's underage, and that I agree with. But age gap in general, I don't think is gross. Also, I think it's because I was born in Brazil and their age gap is so just normal. Like my parents are 10 years apart. Most parents are 10 years apart in Brazil, and it just like is normal to me. So I don't really look at age gap as even a trope, to be honest. And I don't mind it. Like if it's done well, I don't mind it. Magnolia Parks is a literal piece of shit. Well, I cannot help but disagree. Is she toxic? Yes. Is that series very, very, very drama, Gossip Girl filled? Yes. But I ate it up. Emily Henry is overhyped. Y'all love the word overhyped. I swear, y'all learned that word and you flew with it. What do you mean Emily Henry's overhyped? Be so fucking for real right now. No, no. I don't like playlists in the beginning of books. I think they're spoilers. Spoilers. I love playlists in books, y'all. That's probably my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, playlists in books make my life. It makes my life. I don't think there's spoilers. I could see you like getting the vibe of the book based on the playlist, but I don't see how it would spoil it completely. We'll just have to agree to disagree on that one. Don't get a tattoo of an unfinished series. We're gonna stop right there. That's as much as I can take because I have a bunch of tattoos of unfinished series. For instance, Boys of Tommen, and then we have Akatar. I have many tattoos of absolutely fucking everything on my body, so I could not disagree with that one more. Do whatever you want with your body, but whatever. That one offended me a little bit. Thank you so much for joining me, Shadi Bays, in this journey of reading your unpopular book opinions. That was really fun. If you like this and you want me to do it again, do let me know or give me some other options of things I could do. And follow me on Instagram so you could be a part of the next one. I love you so, so much. And all of this was fun and games, you guys. If I roasted you a little, it's because I love you, okay? I promise nothing in here is that deep. Nothing is that serious. Don't make it into a thing. Don't make it into a thing. Oh, if I see you making it into a thing, I swear. I swear. I love you. Have such a fabulous day. Come here for your forehead kiss.